I'm Haley, and today I'm going to show you how to flush a hide. So in this video, I'm going to show you the tools you need. I'm going to talk you through the steps of doing it, and then I'm also going to show you how to clean up your mess. And so let's get to the video. So step one is getting all your equipment, tools, and PPE together. Sorry. Okay, so first, you're gonna need an apron, and in my case, I have a cloth apron, so it bleeds through. So if you have a cloth apron, I'd get some kind of bag, trash bag, or plastic, put it under here so it doesn't bleed onto your clothing. You're also gonna need gloves because you don't want to get transmitted diseases in case they are carrying something, especially if you have a cut. You don't want their blood to mix with yours. And then the tools. So number one, I have this DIY flushing board that I made. And then this is your flushing knife. It's got an angled spot so that lets you know which side to use correctly. And this is the side you want up. And then after you do all that stuff and you want to clean up, right? So you're going to need a trash bag for disposal, some kind of either a broom or mop, whatever, to clean up the mess, and to clean off your board, spray and cloth, or in my case, disinfectant wipes. And obviously you can't do any of this without your hide. And in my case, I have a possum hide. And occasionally you may need this, just to cut off pieces if it's stubborn with the flushing knife. This is just a other knife. And that is all the equipment you should need. So step two is getting in position, setting everything up, and just getting ready to do this. So start with your PPE. Adjust it for your fit. Again, I have to use this so it doesn't bleed onto my clothing and ruin it. Make sure you tie your apron because you have to be specific, really specific with your video. And then you're going to want your gloves. So put them on the correct way. Right hand on the right and left hand on the left. Or whatever, if it is. Now that you have the gloves on, you're going to grab your hide. And so when you put it on this flushing board, you want it to start from top to the bottom. So you want the top of the hide at the top when you're starting with it. And if there's anything you can put inside out, go ahead and do that. So I've already gotten some of this off, but I will show you how to get this off. So you're going to take your flushing knife again. Make sure angle side is the side that is up. And since this has handles, I already know these handles go that way because I had to kind of change the way you use this. Now when you are using this, you also want to put your body weight against the hide so it doesn't keep slipping because you're pushing it. So that's another reason you want your apron. Now when you start it, you're going to want your blade at about 45-degree angle or less, so about half of a right angle. And you're just going to start pushing periodically, or not periodically, but over and over again. And you're going to want to keep pulling it up once you get it further down, because if you keep trying to push all the way down like this, you can hurt your back, and it's just harder. So save yourself some effort and just keep pulling it back up. And sometimes it gets stubborn, and that's when you can also cut this off. Just make sure you don't cut the hide itself. And obviously when you do this, because my mom gets mad at me if I throw it on the ground, put it in the trash can. Because the more meat that stays on here, membrane, fat, whatever, it degrades the hide. It might not specifically make it rot, but it won't be as good as it can be. So if you can save it around the cuts, just cut it off. And occasionally if you get like a really big long piece of meat, you can actually grab it, and it helps if you grab it with cloth to grip it because it's slippery, and just you can literally pull it off. Pull the whole thing off. And since we're near that hole, we gotta be careful, because if I pull too hard, it'll tear it even more, even though I'm not wanting it. And once you get that off, now it's nearly impossible to get all of it off, like every cell, especially around the edges, because like if you do this, I could literally cut that edge of the skin off. So it's, try to be gentle around the edges, otherwise you'll just tear it even more. So go back to now, when you try to go to the sides, because you know you want to go from basically the neck to the rump, so that it kind of goes with the flow of it. So when you need to get the edges, you kind of just, usually most people, they start cutting it either in the middle or up top, and they just kind of like keep turning it like a circle, and then they just go away from the hide. So I've already got most off here, but basically you're just doing that because there's still stuff coming off, which is probably membrane. Right here. Basically, you just keep doing this until the whole thing is clean. Might hear a popping sound.
I'm gonna stop the video now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So now what I'm gonna do in this part of the video is I'm gonna show you how to put it into a place to store it for later, for the next steps that you would do, and then how to clean up properly. So what you're gonna do with this one, you're gonna fold, this side is called the flesh side. This is fur side, pelt, whatever. You're gonna fold the flesh side together, because if you just ball this up and you put it in a bag and throw it in the freezer, the inside could actually stay warm for days and it could start to rot. So you want it to be as thin as possible, but still kind of like, you know. So I like to fold it like once or twice. Gonna put it in the bag that you're keeping it in. Or some people roll them up in newspaper and in a bag, kind of whatever you want to do. And then you would close this and you would put it in your freezer. Not the refrigerator, the freezer. And now, to clean up, I'm going to take my cloth. And I'm going to wipe this down. Doesn't really change it much, but my hide wasn't down there. So I'm going to clean it down there. Throw that away. And then you're gonna want, when you take off your gloves, especially if it was a very fresh animal hide, you don't want to get blood all over your skin, so you're gonna kind of like grab an edge, pull it down, and then since your hand's in here, you can touch anything, then you're gonna grab this side with that hand, pull them both off all the way, and the blood will be in the inside of this, and you're gonna dispose of that. And now, get your broom or mop. Sometimes you have to wait till that stuff dries to sweep it up. So I guess we'll find out. So you're gonna sweep your mess. A lot of hair down here. So yeah, some of this that is like stuck to the floor because I have a wood floor on the back porch because I can't do this inside. Some of this is just gonna have to dry and then I clean it later. Get your dustpan. Get whatever you can now, get whatever you can later. And then take off your apron. Now my apron's off. I got this in a bag, cleaned up after myself. I'll put this back inside afterwards. I'm gonna put this back in the freezer. Now when you use the next steps, you're gonna want it to thaw because you can't do the other steps while it is frozen. So I'm gonna throw it in here with the rest of the deer hide and wait till the next animal hide. And that is how you flush an animal hide.